You don't have to manipulate. You don't have to plead. What you do need is awareness, confidence, and the ability to show him what he can't live without. When you become that woman, the choice becomes inevitable, and it's one he will make freely without force. So take these principles, apply them, and watch how even the most bound hearts find their way to you. Have you ever noticed that sometimes a man will act differently around you compared to everyone else? It's subtle, almost imperceptible if you're not paying attention, but it's there and it matters. Recognizing these emotional signals is the very first step to understanding why he might choose you, even if he seems tied to someone else. You see, attraction is rarely about circumstance. It's about what he feels when he's near you. And the moment you start noticing the little cues, the lingering glances that stay a beat too long, the way he leans in when you speak, the small gestures of care or attention, it becomes impossible to ignore that he's drawn to you on a deeper level. These are not coincidences. These are the signs that his mind and heart are being tugged in your direction. It's important to understand that emotional signals aren't always obvious. He might not say, "I want to be with you," but he will show it in his behavior if you know what to look for. Maybe he remembers the tiny details about your life that no one else would notice. Or maybe he reaches out in ways that feel natural but intentional, like checking in when something important happens to you. These actions reveal that he is paying attention, that he is prioritizing your emotional world, even if he hasn't yet figured out what to do about it. And when you start observing these behaviors carefully, you begin to see patterns. You start to recognize which moments make him truly engaged and which ones he's just going through the motions. That clarity is power, because it allows you to respond in ways that encourage the connection without ever pushing, chasing, or manipulating. Another crucial point is that emotional signals often come with contradictions. A man may act distant at times, conflicted or even unavailable, yet in the same breath, his energy drifts toward you in ways he can't fully control. This is where the magic happens. He might feel bound by obligations, routines, or past relationships, but his emotional attention will betray his true inclinations. Learning to read these contradictions gives you insight into where his heart is really leaning. You start to understand that it isn't about forcing him to make a choice. It is about noticing the signs that he's already leaning toward you internally. Recognizing emotional signals is about paying attention to both what he says and what he doesn't say. It's about noticing the subtle shifts in energy, the moments when his eyes linger, his tone softens, or his body language becomes open toward you. Once you can see these signals clearly, you step into a position of awareness. And awareness is the first step toward attraction. Because when you understand how he feels, you can naturally respond in a way that draws him closer without ever chasing, without ever compromising your own worth. The truth is, men are drawn to women who see them clearly, who understand the signals their hearts are sending, and who can meet that energy with confidence and presence. One of the most powerful tools in attraction, especially when a man seems tied to someone else, is creating emotional contrast. Emotional contrast is about being a woman who evokes a spectrum of feelings in him, someone who is exciting, intriguing, and unpredictable in all the right ways. Think about it. If someone is predictable, if every interaction is the same, it's easy for him to take you for granted. But when you introduce a mix of warmth, mystery, and energy, you make him feel alive in your presence in a way that no one else does. It's not about playing games or pretending to be someone you're not. It's about allowing your full self to shine, your humor, your intelligence, your passions, and letting him experience the joy, excitement, and curiosity that comes with truly being around you. Emotional contrast works because humans are wired to seek stimulation. If life around him feels routine or constrained, someone who brings a sense of unpredictability and vibrancy stands out. You might laugh at something unexpected, challenge him in a playful way, or share a passion that lights up your eyes. These moments create a sense of contrast compared to the everyday monotony he experiences elsewhere. And when he feels that pull, even subconsciously, he begins to associate you with energy, excitement, and emotional fulfillment. That association becomes magnetic. It draws him toward you, even if he's currently committed or bound by other obligations. The beauty of emotional contrast is that it doesn't require manipulation. You don't have to act distant to make him chase you, or pretend to be someone you're not to spark curiosity. Instead, it's about being fully present and fully yourself, while allowing space for him to notice the differences between you and the world he's used to. For example, if he's used to people who simply follow his lead or agree with everything he says, showing a confident opinion or a playful independence creates an emotional spark. It's in these moments, the smiles that come from witty banter, the warmth from genuine care, the excitement from shared adventure, that he feels a deeper pull toward you. Emotional contrast also reminds him of what he truly values in a connection. When a man experiences a wide range of feelings with you, joy, intrigue, comfort, excitement, he begins to see you as more than just an option. He sees you as someone who makes his life richer, fuller, and more vibrant. And that's the subtle yet powerful way to become irresistible. By creating emotional contrast, you position yourself not as a competitor to anyone else in his life, but as a presence he can't ignore. A woman whose energy and authenticity make him feel something he may not feel anywhere else. The women who inspire deep attraction aren't the ones who try to control or manipulate. They're the ones who cultivate a world within themselves that is compelling, dynamic, and full of life. When you embrace this approach, you naturally become the woman he notices, admires, and begins to move toward, even when circumstances seem complicated. Emotional contrast isn't just a tactic. It's the art of being vibrantly, unapologetically yourself in a way that makes him want to choose you. One of the most misunderstood concepts in attraction is the power of choice. Many women believe that if a man is already involved with someone else, there's no way he can choose them. But the truth is, men make decisions based on emotion, clarity, and connection, not obligation or circumstance alone. Understanding this principle changes everything. The moment you grasp that he is constantly weighing options, sometimes consciously, sometimes subconsciously, you realize that choice is about who he feels the strongest connection with, not who he is supposed to be with. And once you understand how choice works, you can naturally position yourself as the one he wants to choose, without pressure, without manipulation, and without compromising your dignity. Men are drawn to women who make them feel understood, valued, and excited. When he experiences those feelings with you, moments of warmth, moments of challenge, moments of fun, he starts to notice what his current circumstances might be missing. It's not about competing or being better than someone else. It's about showing him, through your presence, that the emotional connection you offer is unique. Choice is emotional, not rational. He may intellectually understand that he has obligations, but his heart will always respond to where he feels most alive. That is why cultivating your own energy, confidence, and authenticity is so crucial. The woman he chooses is rarely the one who chases hardest. It's the one who radiates self-worth and invites him into her world naturally. Another aspect of choice is timing. A man may be bound by past relationships or temporary commitments, but if the connection with you is strong enough, he will find a way to make a decision that aligns with his desires. This doesn't happen overnight, and it's not about forcing a conclusion. It's about understanding that emotional alignment precedes action. When he feels a deep sense of pull toward you, when he sees the value, excitement, and fulfillment you bring, he will naturally gravitate toward making the choice that aligns with his heart. Your role is to remain consistent in your presence, authentic in your behavior, and clear in your boundaries, so that when the time comes for him to decide, it's your energy, your confidence, and your connection that he chooses. The power of choice also reminds us that attraction isn't a zero-sum game. You don't have to diminish yourself or compete aggressively to win him over. Men respect and respond to women who are self-assured, who understand their own worth, and who can hold space for their own lives. That clarity, this unwavering confidence, makes you the natural option. When he sees you living fully, thriving, and connecting deeply, he can't help but notice that choosing you isn't just a possibility. It's the only choice that feels right. The women who inspire true desire are the ones who understand that choice is emotional, that connection is magnetic, and that authenticity is irresistible. When you embrace this, you stop chasing outcomes and start creating an environment where he can't help but choose you, not out of obligation, not out of guilt, but because he wants to. One of the most magnetic qualities a woman can possess, especially when a man seems emotionally or physically bound elsewhere, is confidence without desperation. There's a huge difference between being interested in someone and losing yourself in the process of trying to win their attention. Desperation is visible. It changes the way you speak, the way you act, and the way you carry yourself. Men can sense it immediately. Confidence, on the other hand, is silent, subtle, and powerful. It doesn't require you to convince him, chase him, or manipulate him in any way. Instead, it communicates one clear message: you value yourself, your time, and your life, and anyone who wants to be with you must recognize your worth. Confidence without desperation is about embracing your independence while remaining emotionally open. It's the ability to engage deeply in conversation, to share your thoughts, your passions, and your humor without needing constant validation from him. When a man sees a woman who is fulfilled on her own, someone whose life is rich with experiences, friendships, and ambitions, he starts to see her as an equal, someone he wants to be part of, rather than someone who exists solely to fill a gap in his life. This subtle shift in energy is transformative. It changes the way he perceives you and shifts the dynamic from one of pursuit to one of mutual attraction. Part of confidence is also maintaining your boundaries with grace. It's about showing him that while you care, you don't compromise your values, time, or self-respect to gain his attention. When you remain consistent in your boundaries and show that you're not swayed by uncertainty or mixed signals, it naturally creates respect and intrigue. Men are drawn to women who are self-assured because it reassures them that being with you is a choice, not an obligation. It also allows him to step forward of his own volition, which strengthens the emotional connection and makes the choice feel authentic rather than forced. Another aspect of confidence without desperation is the way you carry yourself in daily life. A woman who laughs easily, who engages fully with the people around her, who pursues her goals and hobbies sends a message far stronger than any words ever could. She radiates value through action, energy, and presence. This creates a magnetic pull because it's a reminder that she is a complete, vibrant human being, and anyone who wants to be with her has to earn a place in her life. Desperation removes that allure, confidence enhances it. The combination of self-respect, independence, and authentic engagement is irresistible. Men are drawn to women who are sure of themselves and unapologetic in their worth. Confidence without desperation transforms attraction into a natural, organic force. You don't have to chase, beg, or overthink. You simply show up as your full, radiant self, and in doing so, you become the woman he cannot ignore. When he senses that strength and clarity, he is drawn toward you, not because he is forced, but because he wants to be. One of the most overlooked aspects of attraction is the power of subtle action. So often, women believe they have to make grand gestures, say all the right things, or overinvest in a man's attention to influence his choices. The truth is, it's the small, intentional actions done with confidence and awareness that create the deepest pull. Subtle action is about engaging him in a way that sparks curiosity and desire without ever pushing or chasing. It's the art of leaving a space that invites him to step forward rather than forcing him into a decision he isn't ready to make. Subtle action begins with presence. When you're with him, your focus should be fully on the moment, on the connection, on the energy between you. Men are naturally drawn to women who are fully engaged, who listen deeply, who respond authentically, and who create an environment where he feels seen and understood. This doesn't mean you bend over backwards to accommodate him. It means you make him feel important without compromising your own worth. By being present in these small, intentional ways, you communicate your value subtly yet powerfully. Another layer of subtle action is the way you interact emotionally. Leave moments of intrigue in your conversations. Share your thoughts, your passions, your humor, but don't reveal everything all at once. Let him discover layers of you over time. This sparks curiosity and encourages him to invest his own energy in exploring who you are. Men are naturally drawn to women who are not fully predictable, who can surprise them in ways that are warm, playful, and authentic. These small actions, smiling at something private, sharing a story that makes him laugh, or subtly complimenting him, create emotional sparks that linger long after the interaction ends. Subtle action also involves knowing when to step back. It's not about withdrawing as a game, it's about creating balance. By maintaining your independence, living your life fully, and allowing him to take initiative, you create an opportunity for him to choose you of his own volition. This is crucial because genuine attraction flourishes in an environment where choice is present. When he realizes the space you provide, combined with the energy you radiate, it naturally encourages him to take action without being pushed. Subtle action is about positioning yourself as the woman he wants to choose without ever forcing the outcome. It's about engaging with intention, radiating confidence, and allowing moments of emotional connection to build naturally. When done consistently, these small, deliberate actions compound into a powerful magnetism that draws him toward you, even when circumstances suggest he should be bound elsewhere. The woman who masters subtle action understands that attraction isn't about chasing. It's about creating conditions where he cannot resist moving closer, choosing you because he wants to, and feeling fully aligned in the process. The ultimate key to attraction is becoming the woman he cannot replace. This isn't about competing with anyone else, trying to be better than someone, or manipulating his feelings. It's about embodying your full worth, your confidence, your authenticity, and your unique presence in a way that makes it impossible for him to imagine life without you. Men don't just choose based on logic. They choose based on how someone makes them feel, on the emotional energy that lingers long after the interaction is over. When you become a woman who evokes a deep sense of admiration, respect, and desire, you naturally become irreplaceable. Being irreplaceable starts with self-awareness. You know what you want, you know your values, and you live in alignment with them. This clarity shows in everything you do, from the way you carry yourself, to the way you communicate, to the way you prioritize your time. Men are drawn to women who are fully themselves because it signals strength, maturity, and stability. They sense that this is a woman who will not compromise her identity for anyone, and that makes her incredibly magnetic. The more you cultivate this awareness and express it with confidence, the more he recognizes that choosing you isn't just an option. It's an opportunity to connect with someone extraordinary. Another crucial aspect is emotional depth. Being irreplaceable doesn't mean being perfect. It means being authentic, engaged, and emotionally available in the right way. You create moments that matter, moments of laughter, moments of vulnerability, moments of connection that linger in his mind. These experiences set you apart because they aren't fleeting or generic. They are uniquely tied to who you are. Men remember the way a woman makes them feel more than the surface level details of her appearance or charm. When your presence consistently evokes powerful emotions, he begins to realize that no one else can replicate that energy. Independence is also essential. A woman who is thriving on her own, who has passions, goals, and a vibrant life, sends the message that she is whole and fulfilled. This is incredibly attractive because it shifts the dynamic from neediness to desire. He is drawn toward you not because he has to be, but because he wants to be. When a man sees that you are living fully, that you are confident in your worth, and that you are emotionally rich, he starts to see you as irreplaceable in his life. Being irreplaceable is about consistency in your presence and energy. You don't waver in your confidence, you don't compromise your boundaries, and you continue to show up as your full self, no matter the challenges. This unwavering authenticity is magnetic. It allows him to feel safe, valued, and inspired all at once. When a man senses that he can't find what you offer anywhere else, he naturally gravitates toward you. He chooses you not out of obligation, guilt, or circumstance, but because he genuinely wants to. Becoming the woman he cannot replace is about embodying your worth, showing up fully, and radiating authenticity, confidence, and emotional depth. When you do this, attraction becomes effortless and the choice becomes inevitable. The truth is, attraction is not about chasing, manipulating, or trying to force someone's hand. It's about understanding the subtle dynamics of choice, energy, and connection. When you recognize emotional signals, you begin to see where his heart truly leans. When you create emotional contrast, you show him a world of excitement, warmth, and authenticity that he can't find anywhere else. By understanding the power of choice, you position yourself as the woman he naturally wants to choose, not out of obligation, but because he feels drawn to you on a deep emotional level. Confidence without desperation ensures that you maintain your self-worth, independence, and dignity, which makes you magnetic in a way that chasing never could. Subtle actions, small intentional gestures, authentic presence, and playful engagement spark curiosity and desire, creating a pull that he cannot ignore. And ultimately, when you become the woman he cannot replace, authentic, radiant, emotionally rich, and fully alive, you embody the kind of energy and presence that makes him want to choose you, no matter the circumstances. The journey isn't about competing with others or trying to change him. It's about becoming the best version of yourself, the woman who is irresistible because of her confidence, her depth, and her unapologetic authenticity. When you combine awareness, emotional intelligence, and self-respect, you create a natural magnetism that makes the choice inevitable. He doesn't just want to be with you. He wants to be with the woman who lights up his life, inspires him, and makes him feel truly alive. So take these principles, embrace them fully, and step into your power. Be present, be authentic, be confident, and let the subtle yet undeniable force of your worth guide him toward you. The choice will not just be yours to witness, it will be his to make freely, passionately, and without hesitation. And when he does, it won't be because of circumstance or obligation, but because he can no longer imagine a life without you in it.